God is recreating his people. He's forming them and transforming them on the daily. He wants his people to bear a type of fruit, to be a new type of people that love and joy and peace and patience. We want to focus on the word patience. Patience is long suffering. Patience is remaining firm under pressure. What we want to do is focus in and dive in to what patience looks like in our lives.
It's the word of the, it's the word of the, it's the word of the word of the word of the day. It's the word of the day.
Our perfect example when it comes to patience is our brother Job. Now, Job lost absolutely everything. He lost his whole life overnight, from his property, his children, everything just fell apart. And then he said, if God kills me, I have no other hope. I only have hope in him. And as we look at different things in our lives, man, we can't put our hopes in our relationships because people fail us time after time. We can't put our hopes in our careers because job changes happens often. In the midst of that pandemic or an election, we can't put our hope in a human being to lead our lives. We need something that's firm. We need something that's planted. And what we see in Job is that he says, even if my life is ended, I have no other hope but in God. I have to hope in God. The question is, do you? As we look at our life and we see how chaotic it is, and it's filled with suffering and turmoil and uncertainty, and just all these things keep bubbling up in our lives, what are we even waiting for? Like, as we look at what's happening in our world right now, what are we waiting for? And the Bible is showing us that we're looking for that day of redemption where he makes all things new. And what we do is we wait patiently under suffering, under persecution right here, right now. But that day is not here. It's not. And so what we do is we remind ourselves, okay, God, you got this. Just like Job, I will trust in you. I have no other hope, so I have to trust in you. Romans 8:24. For in this we were saved. Now, hope that is seen is not hope. For who hopes for what he sees? But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for patiently. This reminds me of a lot of our Lord Jesus Christ as he was in the garden. Like, he knew suffering was going to happen, and then it happened. He was under the pressure as he was getting put on trial, and people were accusing him of things that he has never done. And yet they were trying to trick him. And then he was tortured and whipped and hit. And then he carried a cross, hung on a tree like a criminal when he did nothing wrong. The most perfect human being remained patient under pressure because he was looking forward to what was ahead, that full redemption, that God is coming and redeeming all things. And so what this looks like for us is listening to our brothers and sisters that are just simply struggling, being patient with people when they're suffering and walking with them through life, not just that's your problem, but patiently waiting with them, bearing with what one another's problems and issues. As we look at culture and what's happening and the political climate and how hot and heated it is, what does it look like for you to be patient in this season, to remain firm under pressure, be unmovable on this time? Why? Because the election is not your end goal. The end goal is that Jesus is coming back and redeeming all things. So we wait patiently in the midst of trials and arguments that are just fickle and weak because we're waiting for something that is firm and strong. What does patience look like in your life? How are you encouraging your faith or the faith of others in the midst of this time? Who has God placed in your life to extend patience to as we await that day that God makes all things new? And that's the word of the day.